Are you rubbish at the new Call of Duty without slide cancelling? Are you really struggling with the new movement system and getting around the map and getting kills? Well, I think this video is going to be the perfect one for you. Hi everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're doing another deep dive into another area of Modern Warfare 2. Now, the game has received a lot of criticism, and I think some of that is down to the new movement system. Now, in the older games and in Warzone, you were able to do a specific technique called slide cancelling, where you were able to slide around, get out of that slide and get your gun up quick, so you were able to take people out insanely quick, and also then move around the map at insane fast speeds. Now, this technique was kind of broken, and a lot of people didn't like it being in the game, and a lot of people found it really hard to do, and once people got the hang of it, they were able to just absolutely abuse this mechanic, and it kind of turned the multiplayer into a slide fest where everyone's sliding around everywhere and everyone's asses are constantly on the floor and they're all just slipping and sliding around everywhere. So it's understandable that when Infinity Ward were releasing their new game that they removed this technique. Now, a lot of people have been trying to find new ways of doing it, but in this video I'm going to give you some alternatives to add to your movement system so that you can take advantage of this new game and be able to move around the map and pick up kills without having to find a new version of this technique. So another complaint about the game is that it's too slow, the movement, and because of this lack of slide cancelling, people think the movement system in the game is too slow. Now, I think this is actually an improvement, and stay with me here, it is an improvement, and I'll tell you why. For the players like me who never really understood slide cancelling and never really ended up learning how to do it, I really struggled at some elements of the multiplayer and also with Warzone at actually being able to pick up kills. But now, the movement system being slower, it allows you to move more tactically around the map. So I'm going to pull up into a private match here and show you exactly what I mean. So as you can see from the gameplay in the background, I think the best way to counteract this new movement system and to actually work it into your favour is to move around the map a lot slower. So when you're moving around, using your ADS as you peek round corners can help you get that slight advantage and that drop onto your opponent, so you're already there aiming, waiting for the enemy to run around the corner. Now this will slow down your gameplay massively, but you'll also be more prepared when the enemy does come around the corner in juxtaposition to sliding around the corner and just expecting someone to be there and having to shoot them without aiming down your sights so you're less accurate. Now you can walk around that corner with the accuracy that you want and that you desire. You can pre-aim that corner to make sure that you're ready for whenever that enemy does appear. Now, what I would also take into consideration when you're using this technique is so as you're peeking around those corners, so when you're approaching a corner, you want to be as kind of far away from that actual corner as possible. So you want to increase your distance from the corner you're turning around as you slowly move around it. Now, this was a technique a lot of people used in Counter-Strike, as it increases your visibility as you're moving around that corner. So if someone's right tight up on that corner, they can only see a certain angle. So I'll show you a diagram, for example. So apologies if it's a bit crude. So as you're coming up to this corner, if you're really close and tight into this corner, you're going to have less visibility going around it. So you're not going to be able to see close up to that wall. You're going to actually struggle to see people round it. Whereas if you take it slightly further back and you move around as you're peeking that corner, you're going to have a higher range of visibility. So you're going to be able to see the opponents before they see you. Now, I think this will be an extremely broken tactic, and you'll be able to get the drop on your opponents easier as you'll be able to see them before they see you. So the next time you go into a game, try it. So when you approach that corner, instead of running straight up to the corner, tight on it and moving around it, take it at a wide angle and slowly move around, and use your kind of jiggle peeking to be able to spot round that corner so you can see the enemies before they see you. Now, the next technique I'm going to show you is something that it doesn't really have a name, and I've kind of been using it as it helps me disengage from gunfights. So once you're engaged in that gunfight, it's a good way to get out. So if you're close to a corner and you've used the technique I previously showed to move around that corner, but someone manages to hit you first and get some bullets off on you, A technique I've been using to get myself back to safety before I re-engage that conflict is jumping. So the reason I jump around that corner is normally when people are aiming at you, they're aiming straight at your chest or at your head. So it moves your biggest part of your hit register box, and it moves it so they're going to be hitting, the lower half of your body and your legs, so they're not going to be doing as much damage to you. Now this can get you out of the conflict and possibly give you more of a chance of re-engaging, as you're not going to be dealt as much damage, so you're going to be able to get back into that gunfight quicker. Now it's literally just as simple as when you're in that corner and you've engaged someone, it's as simple as just holding your left stick to whatever direction you need to go in and just jumping around that corner. And normally if you disengage your ADS, you can actually jump a little bit further. So if you're a little bit far out from that corner, then you can get back in, use a stim, get yourself back to full health before you re-engage the conflict. Now the next strategy I would use is also in relation to jumping around corners. So you can actually use jumping to your advantage, since enemies aren't going to be expecting you to come flying around the corner, and they're possibly going to be pre-aiming that corner right where your head's going to be. So if you walk around that corner, you're going to get your head shot off. But if you jump around that corner, you can avoid those first few shots coming at your head, so they hit you somewhere else, and then you can get your first few shots off at them while they're stood in the corner, or while they're stood round it. And you can also use sliding to your advantage as well. Just because slide cancelling isn't a viable tactic anymore, you can still use the slide to your advantage by sliding around that corner, so that their pre-aim on that angle is not going to be accurate to you, and you're going to be able to zoom under those bullets and get your first few shots off. So I definitely think sliding is still a viable option, and you can definitely use it to your ability, but use it with caution, because people will expect it. So I would still recommend using it. Now the name of the last technique, I'm actually not sure of the name, but I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, I'm pretty sure it's called popcorn jumping. So this is when, as you can see in the gameplay, you are laid down. So when someone comes around the corner and you get your first few shots of them from a prone position, double tapping the jump button, this makes you instantly pop up in the air, so you're able to just fly up. So when they walk around the corner and they've corrected their aim downwards to be able to shoot at you while you're prone, when you double tap that button, you'll shoot up. So as they're aiming down, you're going up. So then they'll start shooting your feet, and then you can get the shots off on them first. So this technique I think is really viable, and I have been using this technique a lot personally. And I know a lot of other YouTubers have recommended you use this technique. So next time you play, try it out, and I think you'll find that it will work for you. It's a really good strategy. So there you go. Now you know you do not need to slide cancel in Modern Warfare 2 to be able to win these gunfights. So in summary, move around the map a lot slower, use corners and your ADS to your advantage. Make sure you're peeking those corners from a wide range so you can get the shots off on them before they hit you. Yeah, so that's it. If you like the video and these tips helped you, make sure to like and subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of my new Modern Warfare 2 content. I'm going to be uploading loads over the next few weeks, and a lot of Warzone when that drops as well. So thank you for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I really hope these tips helped you too. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.